Okay, systems. So if you're a woman 30 to 45 or even younger, or a guy, actually, this goes kind of both ways. I want to talk about systems. The last video I did was pretty poorly audio-tid, which I have now upgraded to a microphone because it's better. And we're going to run through the basics of systems, why you are no longer, why you're struggling, especially January. It's the 2nd of January, and I want to give as much value as I can and help you guys out. So if you are someone who is tired, overwhelmed, exhausted, stressed, or lost, or trying again, someone who's just, you're frustrated, you really hate that you're always exhausted, you never have the time to train, because what you don't need is more motivation. You don't need some 20-year-old or 25-year-old without kids and responsibilities and a job and a commute telling you, hey, you just need to work harder, or you just need to have more motivation. Like, that's not what you need. What you need is systems. You need to have systems in place, and I'm going to explain what they kind of mean and what it means in terms of fitness and terminology, because that's what I coach. Systems is what gets you results. It's sustainable, it's consistent, it's fits into your life. Systems are it's just essentially organized calendar training. That's all it means. You can interpret it any way you want to. If you think about going to work, if you think about going to school, you probably have a uniform or a job. Like in high school or in college, you had a uniform, right? And maybe in your job, you might have a uniform. So that is a systematic decision that you have to make. So you do not have to have decision fatigue on getting dressed for work. Think about how exhausting it is when you have to go out for a date night or get ready to work, go to work, and you don't feel your best because the clothing doesn't feel right. You're bloated. There's goose. You're bloated, you feel fat, and all these things. A system removes that because you wear that whether you like it or not. So you wear the same uniform every day. And some days you feel bloated and some days you don't, but you still kind of do the work. Doesn't matter. And an hour later, you probably forget that you're bloated because you're just like, it's work. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a system is. It's a set of principles or procedures according to which something is done. So this is, I think, the Google definition, or the second definition on Google that I found, which is what a system is. Now the thing is with systems, they require this thing, this magical word. Words are hard. It's early in the morning. It's 9:30. Not too early. Sacrifice. So, you have to sacrifice something in order for systems to take place. And we're going to kind of interlink with these two. So basically a system, if you systemize your training and you put strength training, the ideal goal would be to put strength training 2 to 3 times a week. And we have to systemize that. We have to find a way. Like your kids have, what do kids have? They have after school activities, which is, see, coming from a guy that doesn't have kids, but systems. My system is I get up at 4:30 every day involuntarily, because I've programmed my dog to get up. So I don't have an alarm. I get up at 4:30 without an alarm. Like, I've internally systemized that, which makes me sacrifice my sleep by going to bed earlier, which means I don't doom scroll as much, or I don't go out for dinners late. And if somebody wants to hang out after a certain time, I'm like, no, that is a system that's for me, that works, that I've built. So you have to find a system and kind of adapt it to you. You have to say no. So if you take your calendar and you look at your week and you see how many days and what you have available and where it's busy, can you find a time and make it a systematic place early in the morning, which means you got to go to bed earlier, early in the day, which means you have to go to bed earlier, or late at night, but then you sacrifice a TV episode or something else, right? And all you have to do is 2 to 3 times a week of strength training. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking for 30 to 45 minutes, an hour max of strength training, right? And you put that in your calendar and you're like, okay, Monday is training day. Friday is training day. It is like the day you wake up, you're like, I know I have training that day. Because on Tuesdays, you know that little Johnny has karate. And on Saturday, you've got the kids' soccer or football practice, right? So, like, that's the system. You kind of do it. You hate it, but you've made the time. You've somehow found the time to get your kids to do it. So if you can do it for them, you can do it for yourself. And that's the same with applies with food. This is nutrition. It's talking about systemizing your nutrition. Because a meal plan that works best is a systematic meal plan that you eat the same. People get stressed and overwhelmed. I'm looking at the screen here because I'm recording myself and I'm making sure that I'm still recording while I'm doing my whiteboard screen here. Sorry. A system with food is, and a meal plan that you can work with is having to think less, because through the day you make so many decisions that your decision fatigue, which James Clear talks about in his book on atomic habits, what's it called? Is you get tired and you don't want to make decisions. That's why we doom scroll and we have Netflix at the same time in the evening, right? However, if you have Taco Tuesday, Fish Friday, that is a system. You know what is on that day. That's why we talk about calories. So if you have your first meal at 350, 400, 400, and 430, let's say as an idea, and you have a chocolate, a 50 calorie, like a square of dark chocolate before bed to hit the sweet spot, you have a system. And you eat the same food again and again. So I love my systematic nutrition where I eat the same stuff at the same time. I've had my breakfast around 8:30. I'll have my second meal around 11:30. And they're about the same calories. I measured it once and I don't have to measure again. And what I do is I will maybe switch the order. So it's usually like sourdough and some ham and some cheese and a apple. That's my first meal. And my second meal is cottage cheese with an apple again, some jam, some dark chocolate, and some nuts. And there's about 100, 200 calorie difference between the two meals. And what I do is I might like swap the order. So one day it's cottage cheese, the next day it's bread, or vice versa. But I know it's the same, so I don't have to change it. And if I want to lose weight, I'll eat maybe a little bit like a slice of bread less. That's it. And I eat that because I love and I enjoy it and it tastes great because it's great bread, it's whole food, it's a great piece of ham, it's like nice cheese that I invest money into. So I care about it. So I don't have to stress about, oh, what's for dinner tomorrow. The more variety you put into your life and body, the harder it is to systemize it and the more you fight it and it chaotic it becomes. So, for example, let's say you go out for dinner. You want to have a girls' night dinner on the weekends, or you want to enjoy the freedom on the weekends because you don't want to live restricted. Well, you don't have to. You just take your last two meals of the day, the 400 calorie dinner and the 300 calorie after dinner snack, let's say, or lunch, and you skip out on those by filling up with soda, 0 calorie drinks, coffee, or water. And then your dinner time at 6, 7, 8 p.m., whatever you're going out for dinner or a party or an event, you have a calorie bank that you've calorie banked. And then tomorrow you go back to routine. So even though you've banked those calories and you might go up or under that calorie limit, you'll still be fine because all you need is 90% consistency. And as long as you go back to Sunday eating the same stuff as you did the day before, you'll be fine. So I hope this makes sense. I hope that you get some value out of this because systems is what makes things stick long term. Anyways, click the link in my bio to find out about my coaching. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, and like the video.